love be a crime? Can two teenagers who like each other end up being torn apart? Not by the society, but by the law itself. In India today, many boys are behind the bars, not for hurting someone, but because falling in love with someone in their age. And today, let's talk about one such case and why the Supreme Court finally said enough. Hello everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about a very important and sensitive topic, the issue with criminalizing all adolescent relationships under the POCSO Act. In this video, I will explain what happened in a recent real-life case involving a 14-year-old girl and 25-year-old man, what the law says under the POCSO Act, how the criminal justice system treated them, and what the Supreme Court said in May 2025. What needs to change in how we see teenage love and the law in India. Let's begin. In this case, a 14-year-old girl from rural West Bengal left her home to be with a 25-year-old man. She was found later and placed in a shelter. Later, she and the man got married and had a child when she was 17. But the man was arrested not because he forced her, but the law saw this as rape, kidnapping, sexual assault under POCSO Act. Even though the girl was holding her baby in the court and said she loved him, the POCSO Special Court sentenced the man to 20 years in jail. Let me clarify you in simple terms what the POCSO Act is. POCSO means protection of children from sexual offences. This act was made to protect children under 18 from sexual abuse, harassment and exploitation. Under this law, any sexual act with someone below 18 is automatically considered as non-consensual. Even both boy and girl love each other, the law calls it as rape. This means even a 17-year-old boy having relationship with a 16-year-old girlfriend can be jailed under POCSO. The law assumes that all such acts are abusive. It doesn't check the emotional maturity, consent or background of the people involved. Coming to legal and social complications, in this case the girl was not protected. She was separated from her partner, her love ignored, and her mental health was affected. The Calcutta High Court during the appeal saw her emotional pain. She was cut off by her family. Her mother-in-law was dying from cancer. She was fighting alone for her partner's release. The court realized it was not a typical abusive case. The High Court said, "We must do human view of the matter and do complete justice." They overturned the earlier judgment and freed the man. But still, the case went to Supreme Court. In May 2025, the Supreme Court used its special power under Article 142 to protect the girl and the young man. Before giving the judgment, the court formed special expert committee. In that, a psychologist, a social scientist, and a child welfare officer asked did the girl want to live with the man or take government help. The girl said she wanted to live with him and want to continue family life. The committee also revealed the emotional trauma she and her family faced, that the system failed to support her as a victim, and that making the man stay in jail would only make her life worse. Coming to the court's realization, the court finally said something very powerful. True justice is not punishing the accused when the victim herself wants to move on. They admitted that criminalizing all teenage relationships is a deep legal and moral problem. The court also quoted empirical studies. From 2016 to 2020, a study of 7,064 POCSO judgments in states like Assam, Maharashtra, West Bengal showed that 24.3% were romantic relationships. In 82% of this, the girls refused to testify against their partner. In another study across 264 cases, 25.4% were consensual. So this is not rape, this is common. Coming to the problem with law, the POCSO law treats all sexual acts involving minors as abuse, but not all are. Imagine a 17-year-old and 18-year-old fall in love. They are not harming each other, but the boy ends up in jail for 10 plus years. The girl is dragged into court and called a victim and not allowed to speak for herself. This leads to breakdown of families, emotional trauma, loss of trust in justice system. What needs to change? It's time we rethink how we treat teenage relationships. Instead of blindly pushing with jail terms, ignoring consent and mutual feelings, breaking apart families, we need case-by-case review, listening to the voice of the girl, counseling, not criminalizing, education about relationships and rights, strengthening family and community support. The law should protect children from abuse, not punish them for love. So here's the truth. Not every teenage relationship is abuse. Not every act of love is a crime. The law must protect, not destroy lives. The Supreme Court's May 2025 judgment is a bold and compassionate step in the right direction. Let's keep moving forward with more empathy, more understanding, and more justice. What are your thoughts? Do you think all teenage relationships should be treated as crimes? Comment below and share this video to someone who needs to hear this. And follow for more content where we make law and life simple and human. This is Ramya Sri Allanki signing off. Thank you.